Welcome back to Heroes and Villains HQ. Today we're going to be reviewing a brand new vintage collection figure, Han Solo from A New Hope. As a collector with over 400 3 3/4 inch action figures, I'm going to be taking a look at the sculpt, paint details, accessories, and articulation, and let you know if this figure is worth the now $19.99 price tag. Of course, if you enjoy Star Wars figure reviews, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But let's jump into the vintage collection review. Checking out the packaging of the vintage collection Han Solo. This is the original A New Hope card back, the green coloring in the bubble, and the great image of Han Solo outside the Falcon. On the back, you can see we're back to the old style vintage collection packaging. Han Solo out of the box, his description, and the number VC372. So let's crack them open. Now with Han Solo out of the package, I know this figure, for whatever reason, is controversial in his likeness and just overall design. I'm not sure I agree with a lot of that sentiment. I think this Han Solo figure looks great and is such a fantastic improvement over the recent Han Solo releases. Beginning first with the detailing, you can see it has the great Han Solo molds that you'd come to expect with a figure like this. The nice vest with all the pockets, the tunic there, you have the belt and holster, and the paint detailing here along the side. Now you can see a little bit of a quality control issue where the red lines aren't really matching the kind of divots in the pants. So it is not just a paint. The pant is actually designed with that in mind. So that's definitely unfortunate, but from even just the slightest distance, it's not going to be noticeable, but I definitely don't love that. On the back here, again, the great vest design. The belt continues with the silver on the back, and then the glossy boots down at the bottom there. Bringing his face a little closer here, this is where the controversy comes in. Some people say that this doesn't look like Han Solo. I'm not quite sure why people think that. I think this looks exactly like Harrison Ford's Han Solo, even down to the little mark there on his chin. They even got that. So I think this is a great representation of Han Solo. And bringing the blaster in nice and close, there you go. You even have the brown handle. I think it looks great. As for articulation, this definitely is one of the better vintage collection figures. You have the full range of motion with the hips there. You do have the thigh breaks. You have 90 degrees there on the knees. You have the rocker ankles. You're able to get the shoulders nice and high, and 90 degrees there on the elbows. As for hip movement, you do have full rotation, slight ab crunch, and then good articulation on the neck there. So everything you would come to expect from a vintage collection figure. As I showed just a second ago, his one and only accessory is his DL-44 blaster pistol. This looks great. Honestly, it even kind of looks like there's weathering on the gray blackish paint. Perfect accessory for Han Solo. Now tossing together a few poses. Classic arms up Han Solo. Of course, you're going to be able to capture this look. Another fun pose, him kind of walking around the corner with the blaster ready to go. And just a simple standing pose. So you're really going to be able to get this Han Solo and a lot of great looks on your shelf. And again, I think they nailed it. I really do. This is probably my favorite Han Solo vintage collection figure, and one that's going to be in the front row of my display. Now let's go into the final ranking for the vintage collection Han Solo, ranking sculpt, detail, articulation, accessories, and posability. First up with the sculpt, I'm going to go 4.5 stars. I think they absolutely nailed it. The vest is specifically my favorite part of this figure. I think the likeness as well looks exactly like Han Solo, and when you compare this to other Han Solo figures, this is such a massive upgrade. As for the detail of the figure, I am going to knock it a star at 4 total stars, simply because of the paint errors I have on the leg. They intentionally added those lines on the leg mold, but didn't print the red markings correctly on the lines. I just think that's a unacceptable decision by Hasbro. If you're gonna add the sculpt, you need to make sure the paint matches up, without a doubt. Other than that though, the detailing throughout the figure looks great. The tan is perfect for his shirt. The belt and holster specifically look great. Overall, just such a high quality figure. As for articulation, I really can't complain. I'm going to give this 5 stars. You have the thigh swivels, you have 90 degrees in both the elbows and the knees, the rocker ankles, you have high quality hips, good head articulation. So overall, the articulation is everything you'd come to expect from a vintage collection figure and everything you would want. As for the accessories, I'm going to give this 3 stars. It only includes his DL44 blaster. I would have loved to see some swappable hands. I would have loved to see them specifically get some flat hands so that you can kind of do some of those different Han Solo poses, or maybe a full fist. I would have loved to see either a flat hand or a fist, or maybe both, to allow you to get some more poses for the Han Solo. With just the 2 trigger hands, you're not able to get much. So accessories, I still want to see more. 3 stars. And then poseability, 5 stars here. You're going to be able to get this figure in every single pose you want to get him in for a Han Solo figure. Again, the accessories, would have loved to see more to enhance those poses, but the articulation is there, the posing is there. 5 stars without a doubt. So this is a final ranking for the Han Solo figure of 21.5 stars out of 25. So my final thoughts on this Han Solo, it's the upgrade we've been waiting for. Love this figure. I can't wait to put him next to Luke and Leia and Darth Vader, and the new Chewbacca, which there is a review coming soon on that figure. So really, really happy with this. I'm not quite sure why there was an uproar for this figure. Let me know in the comments down below what you may not like about this figure. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, the age-old question though, is this figure worth $19.99? No way. And this is going to be my opinion for just about every vintage collection figure. That price increase from $16.99 to $19.99 is just not there. If they're going to increase the price to $20, only $7 less than a Black Series figure, you need to include additional value. You just need to. Where are the extra accessories? That's what's needed here. If they're going to charge that much, they need to provide that much in value. And this figure doesn't, so definitely wait for a sale. So thank you all so much for watching this vintage collection review. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below so you can stay tuned for more content on my channel. Comment your thoughts on this Han Solo figure down below. I'd love to hear them. And I'll catch you in the next one.